The bank that worked for the cartel. What if I told you that one of the biggest banks in the world, a bank with branches in your town, handling your money, was also the favorite bank of the most violent drug cartel on the planet? Not by accident, not by mistake, on purpose. And when they got caught, nobody went to jail. Not a single person. This is the story of HSBC. And it is one of the most insane things that has ever happened in broad daylight. First, let's set the scene. It's the mid-2000s. The Sinaloa Cartel, El Chapo's cartel, is making so much money from drugs that they have a problem. Not a cop problem, a math problem. They are physically generating more cash than they can count. Billions of dollars in small bills, mostly from the United States, piling up in warehouses across Mexico. Drug money is useless if you can't spend it. You need to clean it, put it into the banking system, mix it with legitimate money, and pull it out the other side looking like a normal business transaction. This is money laundering. And the cartels were very, very good at it. But to do it at this scale, you need a bank willing to look the other way. Enter HSBC. HSBC, the Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation, is not some small, shady operation. At the time, it was the second largest bank in the entire world. Headquarters in London, branches in 80 countries, trillions of dollars in assets. The kind of bank governments trust with their own money. And between 2006 and 2010, HSBC's Mexico division laundered at least $881 million for the Sinaloa Cartel, and another Colombian cartel called the Norte del Valle Cartel. $881 million. That's not a typo. This wasn't some sneaky operation hidden from management. HSBC Mexico built special boxes, physical wooden boxes, that were the exact dimensions of their teller windows. Cartel workers would walk in with these boxes, stuffed with cash, slide them through the window, and deposit hundreds of thousands of dollars at a time. The boxes were literally designed to fit. Someone had to measure the window. Someone had to build the box. Someone had to approve this. U.S. investigators found that traffickers were depositing so much cash that they nicknamed HSBC Mexico the place. As in, when you need to clean money, that's the place. Now here's where you'd expect the story to end with arrests. FBI kicks in doors, executives in handcuffs, the whole thing. That's not what happened. In 2012, a U.S. Senate investigation exposed everything. Every transaction, every box, every deposit. HSBC had also been violating sanctions against Iran, Sudan, Libya, Cuba, and Burma. It wasn't just cartels. HSBC was basically running the financial system for some of the worst people on earth. The Department of Justice decided that HSBC was too big to prosecute. Their words. If they actually charged HSBC with a crime, it could destabilize the entire global banking system. So instead, HSBC paid a fine of $1.9 billion and signed a deferred prosecution agreement, which basically means we're going to pretend we almost charged you. They had to install an independent monitor to watch their behavior for 5 years. And that was it. No criminal charges, no executives arrested, no one went to prison. Not the CEO. Not the compliance officers who ignored every red flag for years. Not the person who measured the teller window and built the boxes. Nobody. 1.9 billion sounds like a lot. But HSBC made about $22 billion in profit every single year. The fine was roughly 5 weeks of profit. 5 weeks. For laundering almost $1 billion for a cartel actively murdering thousands of people. Think about what this means for a second. If you or I get caught with drug money, we go to prison. Mandatory minimums, years of your life gone. The U.S. imprisons more people for drug offenses than any country on earth. Regular people, mostly poor, locked up for years. But the bank that made the entire drug trade financially possible? Fine. Have a nice day. Try not to do it again. A senator at the time, Jeff Merkley, said it directly. If you're too big to jail, you're too big to exist. He was right. Nothing changed. HSBC eventually paid additional fines in later years for other violations. The Independent Monitor filed reports about HSBC's continued failures. The bank kept operating. The executives kept their bonuses. The shareholders kept their dividends. El Chapo was captured in 2016 and is now serving a life sentence in a U.S. supermax prison. The cartel he ran killed tens of thousands of people. The drugs his organization sold destroyed millions of lives across the United States and beyond. The bank that helped make all of that possible is still open. Still processing your transactions. Still putting their logo on buildings. Nobody went to jail. Follow for more stories they don't teach you in school.